This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, better late than never. The Tigers outlast the White Sox for the win in the series opener. Thanks to Spencer Torkelson, a torque bomb lifts the Tigers 2-1 over the Chicago White Sox. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I'm your host, Jake Rietman. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Rietman. Thanks as always for making this your post-game destination, the Locked On Tigers postcast, and for making the Locked On Tigers postcast your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. That torque bomb off the foul pole wins it. We'll go over that and a solid effort tonight up and down that Tigers pitching staff and some clutch relief pitching to help get the job done. And let's go win a series tomorrow. Keep the good vibes going. It's all coming up next on the live Locked On Tigers postcast. So buckle up and dial it in. Your comments always welcome. We'll mix them in throughout the course of the program because it's a collaborative environment, especially after a win. The Tigers have now won 3 out of 4. We're feeling a little bit better than we did less than a week ago at this time. Like I mentioned, it was a rain delay, so hopefully you didn't have to suffer through the FanDuel broadcast rain delay questions, whatever that was, but maybe that's an unpopular opinion for me. But that being said, all opinion welcome here on the live Locked On Tigers postcast. We begin where we always begin. It's the biggest talking point, the biggest takeaway from today. And if you were to tell a friend about this game, what would you say? For me, it's real simple, and let's do that next. It's our Talking About segment.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The Spencer Torkelson home run off the foul pole. Yes, that's what we break it down. That's what we talk about because that was the big turning point. That was the moment of the game, and doing his best Carlton fist to keep it fair. Okay, he wasn't quite using 2 arms, but he was leaning in there, and you knew it was gone or foul. It was not, it had the distance off the bat, and you knew it was just a matter of if he could keep that ball fair and doink it off the foul pole like he did. And in a tie game like that in the 9th, where runs were at a premium, you knew once that ball hit the foul pole, well, I guess, factor in the rain delay as well, but there was a lot in that moment that felt like, okay, Spencer Torkelson just gave this team the lift that they needed. Now can they propel themselves to victory after the rain delay? And indeed they did. Other moments from this game, hey, I loved what I saw from the pitching staff, and we start with the starter, of course, in Paddock, who was really, really good again tonight. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. He struck out 4 and just gave up the 1 solo home run. Very next batter almost went yard, but hey, almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. Let me butcher that saying a little bit more. Almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes, and the ball that was almost fair wasn't quite fair. So there you have it. And the Tigers pitching staff, as I mentioned, Kyle Finnegan gets the win in this one for his scoreless 8th inning. He was really good, but up and down that Tigers pitching staff in some important moments. Tyler Holton, he and his sweeper looked really, really good. And then, for Holton, it was 1 1.3 innings pitch and gave up just the 1 hit, got the job done. And Finnegan just continues to dazzle since coming over in the trade from Washington. So all that said, and at this stage in the season in August, where you're trying to fight off the Cleveland Guardians, who were off tonight, they stayed idle. So the Tigers pick up a half game. And when we wake up tomorrow morning, or it's almost getting close to past midnight in the Eastern time zone, but tomorrow beginning play, the Tigers will have a 6.5 game lead over the Cleveland Guardians. So you chalk it up on all things that you love to see for the Detroit Tigers and those sporting the Old English D, although I guess it's the road uniform. So what am I saying? The scripted uniform, which I also like. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's get into those comments because it's a collaborative environment. Demetrius McNeil leads us off. Donk, DJ, play that song. I love it. The Tigers won again. Rich says Spencer Torkelson, the most underappreciated player in the MLB. All anyone talks about is Riley and Carp. Meanwhile, Tork plays every day, never hurt, and mashes righties and lefties. So funny you mentioned that. Got a call from a buddy, longtime friend, and as big of a Tigers fan as I know, and he has been a Tork defender from day one. And not only that, he said, Jake, and this is before the season started. This is a God honest truth, Rich. So there's other people in your court, but I totally get what you're saying. But before the season even started, this is God honest truth. He said, Jake, Tork's going to hit 35 home runs, and we're going to count down every single one. So you know what? Every time Tork hits a home run, he texts me how much closer he is to the 35 home run mark. And after tonight, with Torkelson hitting another home run, and let me just make sure I've got this number correctly. It was his 26th home run of the year. So there you have it. And sure enough, I get the text, 9 home runs left before Tork reaches that 35 mark. And listen, I completely agree and appreciate the comment. I was guilty. I wrote Tork off. I didn't think he was going to make the team. And I have to wear that. But I was not the only one. And Rich, your point is well taken because I feel it. I feel it with the production that Tork brings to this lineup and the type of glue guy role he plays for this Detroit Tigers team. The dude is up next. The best part of the game was everyone arguing if Z-Mac should have started 2-1 or 2-2, and K's looking middle. Yeah, it was a tough spot to be in, and nobody envies Z-Mac having to go up with 2 strikes after a lengthy rain delay. Again, I don't know how long it was. I was just trying not to gouge my eyes out listening to the rain delay questions, and I like to think I have a pretty good sense of humor. Maybe not. Maybe I'm the one that doesn't get it, but God almighty, that was tough. But hey, that's why I'm on lockdown and they're on FanDuel Sports Network. So at least we can have a sense of humor about that. All right. Braylon is up next. I will never call Torkelson useless or a liability ever again. There you go. I love it. I love it. And that's all it takes to win the affection of our guy, Braylon Dennis, and Tigers fans in general for that matter. All right. A couple other comments here. Skip says, not a Tork fan, but I give him a lot of props. There you go. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. One more from Braylon Dennis who says, I've been Torkelson's harshest critic, and so far he's proven me wrong. There you go. Listen, I was right in that same boat. I was in that same boat of being a Torkelson critic. But Tigers get the win tonight. Total team effort, 2-1. Really nice start from Paddock, turning in 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Tyler Holton takes it an inning and a third. And then the 8th and 9th, Finnegan and Vest. If those guys, obviously Finnegan's been used more in a closer role, but if those guys can handle the high leverage innings down the stretch, you feel good about, at least I wouldn't say feel good. Let me pump the brakes a little bit. You feel better about where this bullpen can get to compared to where they've been, because we can all agree it was close and damn near rock bottom for a long time there with where the bullpen was at. But these are the types of series you have to win. These are the types of games you have to win. And the Detroit Tigers have put themselves in position to win the series tomorrow in Chicago at what they still call it, guaranteed rate field, the rate field, whatever it is. I'm sure some of my Chicago friends can let me know what the ballpark's called, and I can't keep up with all of the name changes. But shout out to my grandparents. They were at the game tonight. They called me during the rain delay and given me up to the second update. So I had my team reporter on the ground there, boots on the ground, my grandmother and grandpa. So appreciate that. And I'm sure they stuck it out before the end of the game. It seemed like there was a lot of Tigers fans at the game as well. So any Tigers fans making their way back from the game tonight on the road, Tigers always represent well on the south side of Chicago. Let me know. But let's take a quick break. We'll keep the lights on, and then we'll close it out with our turning point, one guest for that one, and our player of the game, also one guest for that one, next on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. Today's episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by Game Day Hue. And so is this hat I'm wearing for all Tigers fans. That's right. Tigers fans like me, this one hits the mark. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. And I love rocking it on the course. I get a compliment every time because it's so subtle yet stylish. And you know what? I'm always repping my team, whether it be a logo on the shirt, something else. You know who I'm repping, and then the colors combine it all together. You got to love that. I've worn it to tailgates, tea times, or just even out running errands, even working out, and I always get compliments. And it's not just hats. You got to check this out. It's the split shade golf glove made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for the fan who has everything. Check it out. Split shade. It fits like a glove. And well, it is a glove, but you get the idea. Made for the course. Perfect grip. Allows me to grip that driver nice and tight so I can slice it into the woods. Right now, you can get 15% off your code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our good friends at FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on the MVP race, crown your champion in August, or parlay your division winner dark horse. Anybody that has a pick for the NFC North besides the Lions three-peating? I didn't think so. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game, America's #1 sportsbook. Closing it out on a live Locked On Tigers postcast as the Tigers beat the Chicago White Sox 2-1 in the series opener, and they even waited out a lengthy rain delay at a weird time because that storm seemed to come out of nowhere and it hit in a hurry. But nonetheless, the Tigers are victorious, and I appreciate everybody staying up late. If you're catching the audio only version the next day, totally understand, but it's all good news on this front. Tigers will go for a series win tomorrow. Before we look ahead to that one, let's get to our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, I'll give you one guess for this one. Spencer Torkelson in a tie game in the top of the ninth. High fly ball deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. Doink off the foul pole. You love to see it. And for Spencer Torkelson, he brings the go-ahead run home on a solo shot off the foul pole. That's your turning point. And after that, it was just a matter of waiting out Mother Nature and letting Will Vest come in and pick up the save. For Will Vest, I got to give him a lot of credit. That's his 17th save of the season. And aside from that one minor little funk in the middle of the year, he's been dynamite. All right, how about our player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
You know, this is the portion of the program where it feels like you could just go up and down and say this player contributed, and that is often the case. And we've mentioned how good the pitching staff has been, but Tigers needed a clutch hit, and boy, did they get one from their guy, Spencer Torkelson. He had 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4 with the RBI, the home run, and a run scored. Give it up for your player of the game, Spencer Torkelson. All right. Tomorrow, Tigers back at it. Jack Flaherty taking the bump. White Sox have not announced their starter yet, but the Tigers have a chance to go for a series win and just keep stockpiling those series because, love it or not, you got to start watching the out-of-town scoreboard to see what the Cleveland Guardians are doing. That lead is down to, well, I should say it's up to 6.5 after tonight, but you get the idea. I mean, this was a lead that we weren't even considering the Guardians having a chance to come back and make it close. But after that rough stretch in July and the early portion of August, they did exactly that. So here we are. But Tigers finished the series, 2 more with the White Sox, and then go to Minnesota. Scuba will start that first game in Minnesota on Thursday. So appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Thanks for staying up late, even after the rain delay. Your comments were greatly appreciated. It's always a pleasure to be on the air. And make sure you check out the Locked On Tigers daily show with Scott Bentley. And make sure you like today's video and go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well, because we're pumping out free content. And oh yes, there's a lot of free content coming your way. I'm part of the Locked On Lions squad show that you can see on the Locked On Lions channel. And just for all of our Detroit teams, make sure you check out Locked On Tigers, Locked On Lions, Locked On Pistons, and Locked On Red Wings. Support the Locked On family, your team, each and every day. That's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tigers get the win 2-1 over the White Sox. We'll do it again tomorrow. Jack Flaherty on the bump. Tigers go for a series win. Talk to you then.